and start. Let's make sure that took. Okay, I didn't see a recording thing, but it looks like we're recording. So welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening for part 2 of reducing your toxic overload. We actually have a lot packed into tonight, so we're just gonna jump right in and actually start with an apology, because as much as we try to condense everything down and be super concise, we're probably gonna go over by like 8 to 10 minutes. So if you need to jump off, feel free to do that. We're going to have the replay up, and so that'll be available too. We didn't want to skimp on some things because we know a lot of you will be using these to, share with people later, and so we just kind of wanted to make sure we covered everything. So welcome, grab a blanket and get comfy. So we're going to do a quick 2-minute recap of some of the key points from part 1 in December, and then we'll talk about the food side of reducing your toxic load, and then show you our favorite personal products that we use from doTERRA to just help us rid our bodies of the toxins that accumulate over time. So we went over in December in part 1 the 2 main sources of toxins. So we focused on the environmental side in December in part 1, and now we're focusing on the dietary side. So this would include genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, pesticides, and I would include into that also like herbicides and insecticides, all the sides. Sugar, food additives like the food dyes, the flavorings, the hormones, the antibiotics, all of that. So if we reduce the amount of toxins in our bodies, then that's the quickest way to start making changes. So everything we covered tonight is really just kind of opening the doors to you of education. Our goal is, of course, to educate and empower you so you can make informed decisions. It's just all about creating awareness. So there's 4 areas that you can improve. We went over number 2 in part 1. This second part, we're going to focus on proper nutrition, which is number 1, and then personal detox and cleanse, which is number 4. We're going to briefly touch on number 3, but we're not spending a lot of time there. So why make a change? So hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the 18-minute TED Talk from Robyn Obrien. Just wanted to share that with you because what the chemical industry, what they're telling us that the chemicals are safe in our everyday cleaning and personal products, we now have the food industry telling us that GMOs are safe and the chemicals in our everyday foods are safe, but this is not the case. These are all foreign substances in our bodies, and I'm just going to do a little recap of Robyn's presentation, which isn't going to focus on this slide, but I'm getting here in like a minute. But she mentioned in her talk that GMOs were introduced in the 90s, and these were new proteins that were engineered into our food supply to maximize profitability for the food industry. But these GMOs are banned in other countries, and for good reason. So no human trials were done on GMOs before they were put out to the public. There was no testing done, no long-term studies, and basically now we're seeing the human population giving them their study results in the form of disease and immune responses, and she went over this in her presentation. We have the highest disease rates in the United States, and when GMOs came out, we said, well, they haven't been proven dangerous, so we're going to go ahead and allow them, right? Meanwhile, Canada, the UK, Japan, New Zealand, Europe, they didn't allow them in their food supply. Let me see here, we have some background noise. Hang on, there we go. So what we have seen allowed here is not allowed in other countries, and big companies like Kraft and Coca-Cola and Walmart, they actually have different formulations and separate batches of their products that they send to these other countries. So every wellness advocate has a responsibility to educate themselves and reduce their toxic load to impact future generations. What we choose today matters tomorrow. And in her talk, she kind of went over some of these stats about allergies. So now we're talking about what's on this slide. And she gave those stats. I'm not going to go over them because they were in her talk, but we see an increase in allergies. And this is just one of the symptoms and that we're seeing as a result of genetically modified foods. So when she explained is that a food allergy is like your body is seeing that food as a foreign invader. And we've also seen an increase in autoimmune diseases and gastrointestinal disorders and issues and diseases, behavioral issues, reproductive disorders. When we look at all of these different areas in these different categories, and then we look at genetically modified foods, science and studies are connecting these together. So one I want to share with you is that they did a study and found that mice that were fed genetically modified organisms were sterile by the 3rd generation. So when we look at what genetically modified seeds are, because you can't patent nature, so the big company that created genetically modified seeds, they're actually called terminator seeds or suicide seeds, because they're designed not to be able to be saved for the next season. So the farmer has to go back and purchase more seed from the supplier. And so the 2nd generation seeds are basically infertile. So now, as we're doing these studies, we're seeing in mice that they're sterile by the 3rd generation, and we have a lot of reproductive issues going on. All of these signs and symptoms are your body's check engine light telling you that something's wrong. So if you remember from part 1, if you got to watch that, when we have an overload of toxins in our body, they're going to spill out into one of 2 directions. One is going to be malignancy, so this would be the growth, the tumors, cancer, or the other one would be inflammation. So this would be diabetes, allergies, and other health conditions. And all of these toxins and adulterations in our food affect our immune system, our nervous system, our endocrine system, our reproductive systems, just to name a few. And we're seeing these in the form of obesity and IBS and diabetes and arthritis, Crohn's, IBS, attention issues, right? These are simply the body's response to all of the inflammation that's going on in our system, and your body's just trying to cope and protect you. And of course, our children are most affected, right? They're more vulnerable because they get the same exposure level to the food, but it's concentrated, it's more concentrated in their smaller body, and their organs are still developing. So if we look at how this affects our bodies, what's the body burden of the genetically modified and chemically altered foods? So I'm going to talk about, just kind of recap what she talked about, the dairy and corn. So she talked about what changes were made in the dairy industry, and that when they introduced the synthetic hormones that they injected into the cows so they would make more milk, they did this in 1994, the cows started getting sick. So they started getting mastitis and having ovarian cysts, and their limbs started to go lame. They developed skin disorders, which then led to an increase in antibiotic use as a result. So this promotes this use, overuse of antibiotics promotes that antibiotic resistant bacteria that we know is such a big problem today. This situation when the cows are sick, that's a therapeutic use of antibiotics. But we also have 80% of the antibiotics being sold in the United States are being used in non-therapeutic forms to put into feeds of animals to make them get fatter. And so it kind of prevents a little bit of infection. So that's a non-therapeutic use of antibiotics. This is a normal practice in the conventional farming, and again promotes that resistance in antibacteria for humans. We are seeing hormone changes in girls. So we're seeing the puberty is actually coming earlier, and there was a link shown in those girls that routinely consume milk from cows that were treated with these synthetic growth hormones. So we know it's affecting us, right? We have the highest rates of cancer in the United States, but only 1 out of every 10 are linked to genetics, which means the other 9 out of 10 are environmentally triggered. Something foreign in the body is triggering the cancer, not the genes. And 1 out of 3 women are at risk of breast cancer. So they're still, saying like things are inconclusive, but I don't need a science degree to tell me that the hormones being injected into the cows are altering their hormone process. They're causing them to get sick. They're causing them to get cancer. To tell me that there's, a connection, and maybe I should look at a non-dairy alternative or purchase organic. She also mentioned the most common food allergy is dairy, but that doesn't take into account all of the food sensitivities and intolerances that aren't yet at a full-blown allergy level in the body. So you can be sensitive or intolerant to a food, and sometimes it can take 3 to 5 days for you to see that, reaction in your body. So that's something to be aware of. And then the last thing on GMOs I want to touch on is the new epidemic of of gastrointestinal issues. She mentioned that after they engineered corn seeds to release their own insecticide, the corn then became regulated by the EPA as an insecticide itself. So what happens is the insects, eat the plants, and the corn is able to produce its own insecticide. So when they eat the plant, it creates pores in the insect's gut, and this basically disrupts the integrity of the gut lining and kills the insect. So how many people do you know with a gut issue, right? When we think about this, leaky gut is one that comes to mind, IBS, Crohn's, right? We're seeing this huge epidemic of GI issues. And 70% of our immune system is in our gut. We have to focus on healing our guts. Our gut is our second brain, and 90% of the serotonin that is responsible for our mood management is produced in the gut as well. So our ability to regulate our moods and our immunity is directly related to our gut health. Okay, so that was basically everything on GMOs. I want to step into the next category, which would be like the sugar and the food additives. So these are all highly present in processed food. We're going to look at sugar first. So there's over 600,000 food items in America, and 80% of them have added sugar. So the sugar industry is really good about adding sugar into everything. It's super hard to avoid this stuff if you eat anything in a box. Why is it bad? Because it's highly addictive. So the same areas of our brain that light up with the use of cocaine light up also with the use of sugar. It negatively affects our liver, our pancreas, our hormones, our digestive system, as our body tries to process this modern load of sugar that we take in, and any excess gets immediately stored as fat. Candida, which is the bad bacteria in our gut, and cancer feed off of sugar. It reduces the good bacteria in your gut, which causes damage. It reduces immunity. It increases inflammation. So you feel old, you feel tired, you feel sick all the time, and you slow your body's ability to repair. Again, the food industry here is designed to make money. And so the sugar industry, and we're going to have a bunch of links and resources for you guys that you can go and continue to do your own research, but they're kind of like today what the tobacco industry was, and they've done a really good job hiding and kind of minimizing the studies that have been done on how damaging sugar actually is. It's estimated that by 2050, 1 in 3 Americans will have diabetes, and a lot of it is being driven by sugar. A lot of it is GMO sugar in the form of high fructose corn syrup. So then we're going to look at food additives. This is the last one here. So there's also food additives, artificial colors and flavors that affect our brain, our gut, and our body systems. They're used to enhance the flavor, enhance the texture of a product or the appearance of a product, or to extend the shelf life. So these, again, are mainly in processed foods. Some of them to be avoided would be MSG. So this causes headaches, inflammation, and weight gain. I have the picture of the rats here because, and you can Google this, they're MSG rats. So lab rats are used by scientists, right, to study new products and to test drugs, and they're not normally prone to obesity, so they feed them MSG to make them obese. And MSG comes in a lot of different names, so the industry is really good. When the consumer gets smart and kind of catches on, they'll change the names of things. So you're going to want to Google names for MSG, and you'll have this list of ingredients that you can avoid. But it is a neurotoxin. It basically excites your brain cells so much that they die. And they are designed to get you addicted and coming back for more of the food. The Glutamate Association lobbying group explains that they add MSG to food to make people eat more. And it, again, goes by many names, so Google it so you know what to avoid. Natural flavor is to the food industry what fragrance is to the chemical industry. So up to 100 different substances can be hidden under just that one ingredient. and a lot of them are synthetic chemicals. High fructose corn syrup is the genetically modified sweetener, comes from corn, that they use in processed foods, and it's linked to diabetes and inflammation and weight gain, especially in like the belly, love handle, spare tire area, and this is where our vital organs are, so we want to make sure we're avoiding that one. Artificial sweeteners, which is in all the diet stuff, so this would be aspartame, sucralose, which is also known as Splenda, saccharin, acetylcholine K. These cause headaches, migraines, dementia, brain tumors, cancer, and fibromyalgia. It's been linked to all of those. And then artificial colors. So this would be the reds, the blues, the yellows, and these are associated with ADHD and cancer. So very overwhelming, right? Processed foods are more like food products. I know it's super hard to avoid them, but we can if we focus more on whole foods found in nature. So this I wanted to just kind of show you your body's natural detoxification system, because it does have a good detoxification process. It's just not designed to handle the amount that we're taking in our modern day world. So whatever we take into our body, whether we're breathing it in or it's getting absorbed through our skin or we're ingesting it, it's going to go through this detoxification process. It's going to go through our liver. It's going to eventually make our way to the liver, and then that's the main detoxification organ in the body. If at that time your body's doing a really great job and your body can handle that load, then it's going to go through one of your excretory organs and exit the body either through the skin or the kidneys or the colon or the lungs. If it can't be excreted properly, then your body is going to store it. It's going to get stored in your cells as toxic waste, mainly your fat cells, but also can be stored in bone marrow, blood, your central nervous system, your joints, tissues, liver, things like that. But we want all these systems to be working properly and at the best level that they can be. So these foreign substances that I just talked about accumulate over time, and they add to our body burden, just like the chemicals in our personal care products and our cleaning products. And it just kind of grows over time. It's estimated that we carry within our bodies about 700 contaminants. So for those of you that are still with us, thank you for being patient. I'm happy I haven't scared you away yet. Thanks for hanging in there. This, I know I get, is a lot to take in. It can be kind of overwhelming and like, what do I do with all this information? Where do I go from here? And I can assure you we're like 13 years into our natural health journey. It is a process. Be patient with yourself. You know, don't let life's little fun things, you know, keep you from enjoying that. We're not saying like, you have to change everything today. So I'm just going to go through 10 things that you can do, because there is hope. We can do this. So if we lower the load of toxins, then our health conditions will improve. And I just want to go over these 10 with you right away. So the first one is eating the right foods. And this would be the best thing you can do for your health and reduce your body burden is to choose whole organic foods whenever possible. So if you watch the TED Talk, you kind of heard Robyn talk about how the cost, the business model and the cost structure of conventional food versus organic food is kind of lopsided, and that's why organic food tends to be more expensive. It's not always the case, it's getting better. But if purchasing organics is new to you, I would ease into it by focusing on your dairy and your meat first, because that is going to carry the largest toxic load. Again, because toxins get stored in the animal fat is where it's going to end up. So you can avoid all that by getting the organics. Plus, organic farms don't inject their cows with the growth hormones, and they don't overuse antibiotics. So that will get you the most bang for your buck. Then from there, I would focus on the top 12 dirtiest fruits and vegetables. So we'll link up the Environmental Working Group's list. They do this every year. It's called the Dirty Dozen, and it's like these are the ones that you're definitely going to want to get organic if you have access to them and can afford them. And then it has other fruits and vegetables that like these are okay to get regular if you can't afford to get organic. So we'll link that up for you. The second one is to support your guts. You want to use a good probiotic so you can increase that good bacteria in your gut, and it's going to be more able to handle what you're taking in. doTERRA's has a great one. And then you're going to want to remove the bad bacteria via a cleanse. And Sarah's going to go over that in just a little bit. Any faulty GI process, like any faults in the gut, are going to impact your body's ability to detoxify properly. Third is reduce inflammation. So toxicity, increases inflammation, which then leads to a heavier toxic load in your body, which will slow any detox process that you're trying to go through. So make sure you're taking omega oils. If you're on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you've got this covered. The other thing is to increase your antioxidants. Again, if you're on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you've got that covered. But turmeric oil is a great one to add in if you want more. And then, of course, eating all of those bright colors in your fruits and vegetables and legumes. Anything that is brightly colored, that's where the antioxidants are. Number 4 is supporting your immune system. So we want to eat well, we want to sleep well, we want to manage our stress levels, practice good hygiene, take your Lifelong Vitality supplements because that is providing your body with those critical vitamins and minerals and nutrients so you can support your immune system, and then get your On Guard in on you and around you as much as possible. Next would be to do a cleanse at least twice a year. And again, doTERRA's is great, and Sarah's going to cover that. Next would be minimize your exposure. So everything we taught you in part 1 and part 2. Prevention is always the first and best line of defense and offense. We suggest that you continue to use essential oils in your personal care and your cleaning routines because this is going to help you reduce your toxic load, right? Also in your healthcare routine. So medications, over-the-counters and antibiotics deplete your body of vitamins and minerals. And antibiotics in particular, they're going to wipe out all of that good gut bacteria. So if you can seek other solutions before going to those, that's a good thing to do just to support your immune system. Next would be drink plenty of clean water. So water is like the catalyst of all of this flushing process, which Sarah's going to cover. But water, you have to think it's like a river, and it's carrying all the waste that your body's trying to get rid of, and it's carrying it out. So drinking lots of water helps flush your body. And of course, if you can add citrus oils to it, that's going to get you even cleaner. Next would be sweating regularly. So whether you do infrared sauna or exercise, sweating is going to help your body get better excrete those toxins and the fat more effectively. Drink lots of water after you do this as well, because again, your toxins are stored in your fat, and now you're burning fat and getting all that out, and so you're releasing toxins, and you want to drink lots of water to help that flush out. Get good sleep. So we mentioned this in the immune part, but science is showing there's a specific brain detoxification process that happens while we sleep. And if we don't get good sleep regularly and consistently, then our body's not going to be able to detoxify as well. And then lastly, visit your chiropractor. So spinal adjustments impact our nervous system, which is our circuit breaker. It kind of tells all the functions in our body what to do, including our metabolic functions and detoxification. So if you get regularly adjusted, you can detoxify at your best level. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And now we're going to hand it over to Sarah, and she's going to talk about the cleanse.
Absolutely. Thank you, Heidi. That was just awesome information to have. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm ready to start my cleanse like tomorrow. Like, let's get these toxins out. So let's talk about cleansing and what does that mean and what does that look like and why and how is it going to help us? So why would we want to cleanse? Well, I don't know if you caught on one of the slides that Heidi had a few back, but it said that when toxins don't have a place to go, they actually rest inside of our cells and they find a place to live inside of our cells. And so honestly, if you look at the slide that's in front of you, there's only one type of disease, and that is a malfunctioning cell. So when we cleanse our bodies, we must cleanse our bodies at the cellular level so that we can get all of those toxins out. Our cells do not operate efficiently when they are compromised, and then therefore our organs and our tissues and all of that, they don't function well either. So obviously toxins, pesticides, and a poor diet can damage our DNA and the cell's ability to receive and send messages. So just everything that functions in our body is not functioning well when we are not filtered out from all of those toxins. So here's what the cleanse will do for you. It will repair your immune system, because 70 to 80% of our immune system exists in our gut. It will replenish our natural energy. It will clean out the toxin buildup in our body, and it will regulate our bowels. So you will find yourself feeling a lot better in that area. And then when all of those things are happening, our skin is one way that toxins leave our bodies. So when we are cleansed, our skin impurities go away. And so we will reduce all of those imperfections that we don't like on our skin. We will improve our digestive functionality. So if you have an upset tummy quite often, it's going to help that. Happy cells equal a happy body, right? So how do you know if you are suffering from a buildup of toxicity? Well, if you are feeling one or more of these following symptoms, you probably are suffering from a buildup of toxicity. And as I read it, I know that I'm relating to some of them right now. Sugar cravings, low or inconsistent energy, bloating or gas pains, caffeine addiction, binge eating or drinking, mood swings, irritability, anxiety. This one I'm having a problem with lately, brain fog and difficulty concentrating. I'm just really struggling with that. And I think that it's one of the reasons is that I do need to take a cleanse very soon. Fluid retention, migraines or headaches, all of those are definitely signs that you probably need a cleanse. And so we would like to talk to you tonight about doTERRA's cleanse, because this cleanse is gentle, it's safe, and I love this cleanse because it doesn't require a harsh, drastic change to your diet. How many of you have heard of juice cleanses, right? And you're like starving and you're irritable and you're like, I feel awful. And, eventually you kind of get through it because you are being cleansed, but it's really a hard process to go through. Well, they require a lot of work in a short amount of time. You feel awful while you're on them. And in doTERRA's cleanse, you just need to eat whole, real, unprocessed foods and follow the guidelines that we're going to give you. So this cleanse is actually kind of cool. It's 30 days, and it requires using certain supplements or oils in 3 different phases, and they are 3 10-day phases. So during phase 1, you're going to use the supplements that we're going to tell you about in a minute. And in phase 2, you're going to use a different set of supplements. And in phase 3, you're going to use a third set of supplements. And a few of them you're going to use all 30 days. So we're going to talk to you about that. And then along with all of that, you're going to be drinking a whole bunch of water. And we'll talk to you about the water as well, but water with lemon oil too. So let's talk about the first product, and this is awesome. It's called TerraZyme. And TerraZyme is a supplement that you are going to be using all 30 days of the entire cleanse, and you're going to be taking 5 of them a day: morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bedtime. So right when you wake up to right when you go bed, you're going to be taking TerraZyme. So let me tell you a little bit about what this is and why it's going to help you. TerraZyme is a digestive enzyme that helps your body digest foods it doesn't want to process. Enzymes are protein molecules. Almost every single metabolic process in our cells requires enzymes in order to occur at rates fast enough to sustain life. So, in other words, enzymes are life. They regulate respiration, thought, growth, taste, smell, nerve stimulation, immunity, hormones, cellular growth. They break down and assimilate vitamins and minerals and thousands of more things they do for us. As we age, we have less enzymes in our body, and we need to eat vine-ripened food with each meal to get more enzymes. Okay, how many of you are eating vine-ripened food every day? How many of you maybe once a month on your vine-ripened tomato, right? So that's not happening for us. So people who take enzymes, who are able to do that, they get sick less. Remember, 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So keep your gut happy. People who work out recover faster when taking enzymes because they repair damaged tissues. And enzymes help our bodies digest foods it doesn't want to process, like American cheese, Starbucks, gluten. If you get tired after meals or get into an afternoon slump, you need to take these digestive enzymes with every meal. If you don't, you are stealing from your metabolic energy just to digest your food. It's made of active whole food enzymes and helps us find what we are missing in processed foods. So that is Terrazyme. And many people who use Terrazyme in the cleanse stay on it as one of their daily products that they take in their vitamin regimens. So that is Terrazyme. So how do you know if you have an unhealthy gut? Again, kind of different from suffering from toxicity. Now you're just thinking about your gut in general. Many of these symptoms will overlap from when we talked about the symptoms of toxicity. You might be feeling bloating, constipation, or diarrhea, one or the other, allergies or sensitivity to food, anger or mood swings, depression, irritability. Okay, lots of emotions involved in that, right? Eczema, rosacea. Remember we talked about how good it is for our skin to be cleansed and have a healthy gut. Diabetes, autoimmune disease, fatigue, sluggishness, headaches, poor concentration, erratic mind, ADD. All of these are signs that your gut is not in a healthy state. So the next part that we're going to talk about is the water with the lemon oil. And this is also going to be done during all 30 days of the cleanse. And this is just going to be done throughout the day. But here's what you need to know. Your water intake needs to be half of your body weight in ounces of water. So if you are a typical 140, 150 pound person, you are going to need 70 to 75 ounces of water each day. And then in that water, you're going to want to add your lemon oil to that. And really, you can use the lemon oil as needed. If you're going to be drinking 8-ounce glasses, 1 or 2 drops in each glass. As you refill the same glass, you might not need to add more oil till maybe later in the day. If you're drinking out of a larger 32-ounce glass or stainless steel bottle, you might want to use a little bit more oil, 2 or 3 drops. And again, as you're refilling, add your lemon as needed throughout the day, but make sure it's always in your water because that lemon will purify you and cleanse you from those petrochemicals and toxins. Just going to aid in the water as it's just flushing all of that junk out of your system. So the next product is the Zendocrine Detox Complex. And this is the final product that I'm going to talk to you about that is taken all 30 days. So with the Zendocrine Detox Complex, you're going to want to take this at breakfast and at dinner twice a day. This is a whole food supplement that helps your body take out the trash, like literally filters you out. It manages your body's exposure to toxins and supports the healthy cleansing of our filtering endocrine system, like the liver, the colon, the lungs, the skin. Zendocrine helps cleanse the body of toxins and free radicals that can slow the body's systems down, leaving a heavy weighted feeling. Zendocrine complex should be taken, like I said, in the morning and the evening meals all 30 days. So the Zendocrine, we're going to talk a little bit more about this one later, but this is an awesome what do I want to say? Supplement. Remember that brain fog I was telling you about? I need to start this cleanse tomorrow. The Zendocrine complex is your filter, okay? And along with the soft gels, sorry, Heidi. I thought the filter slide was next. We're going to show you a really cool filter slide in a minute. The Zendocrine soft gels is the essential oil blend that acts as a, there it is, that acts as a purifier of your filter, as it were, as well. And in this essential oil blend, we have tangerine, we have rosemary. Rosemary supports healthy liver function. We have geranium, which supports the elimination of toxins. We have juniper berry, which supports kidney function, and cilantro leaf, which supports the elimination process and detoxes metals. So cilantro leaf actually is really cool oil just to use on its own. And we could do a whole webinar just on cilantro. It's a wonderful, wonderful oil. So the Zendocrine soft gels, like I said, it's an essential oil blend formulated to have a purifying effect against unwanted substances in the body. You will use this particular supplement during the first 10 days of the cleanse. So you're only going to want to use it days 1 through 10, and you are going to use it. What did I have here? Take it for the morning meals and the evening meals. One thing you should know about this is that the Zendocrine does come in an oil. And if you have the oil, you can put 2 drops of Zendocrine oil in a veggie cap, and you can take that instead of the Zendocrine soft gel. But the soft gel is really easy, and it is nice to have when you're doing it this often. So that is the one little thing that you can know about that. So now we're going to look at our organs, and we're going to pretend that our organs are like ucky, yucky car filters that are totally full of junk and toxins and just, like we said earlier, taking out the trash, right? And these 2 products, the Zendocrine Detox Complex and the Zendocrine Soft Gels, are going to help your organs look like a brand new car filter, as it were. So it's just going to clean you up. It's what you see there is what it's going to do to your organs in your body. So that is awesome. So the next product that we are going to use is also going to be taken during the second phase. So this is taken with your Zendocrine soft gels. You're going to take the GX Assist. And this is also taken at the morning and the evening meals. So you're just going to take this. It is actually a blend of oregano, melaleuca, lemon, peppermint, lemongrass, and thyme. The GX Assist will support your healthy microbial balance inside of your stomach and your intestines. It helps purify and cleanse the digestive system. It creates an unhealthy environment for potential threats. Now that sounds weird. Let me put this for you in layman's terms. 70 to 80% of our immune system lies in the gut. So when we have unhealthy bacteria in our gut that wants to help make us sick, the GX Assist makes it so that it can't survive in there. So it creates an unhealthy environment for the bad things that might be entering our body or trying to take over our cells and make us sick. So I have done this cleanse before, and I have used this product without much discomfort at all. This is the product many people feel a little nervous about, like, oh, am I going to start cleansing today? And actually, you might find on this cleanse that that's not actually a requirement to happen to you. It might happen, but it might not. And I took this product and had it without much discomfort at all. And you will take this again, like I said, for the second phase, the second 10 days, and you're going to be taking it morning and night, morning meal and evening meal. PB Assist is doTERRA's probiotic, and we are now entering the third phase of the cleanse. Now we've actually been cleansing. Our body is rid of much of the junk that we've been needing to get release. And PB Assist is going to help now repair and build back up all the healthy stuff inside of us. So with 70 to 80% of our immune system in the gut, and our mood-brain connection is with the gut, we want to maintain a healthy digestive tract. The PB Assist helps replenish the digestive system with good bacteria called probiotics. A good probiotic will have 3 things to ensure that the probiotic strains are still alive and healthy when you take them: darkness, moisture, and a source of food. doTERRA's probiotic has all 3, so the strains will stay alive and you do not have to refrigerate them. This is so cool. They are double encapsulated. They actually look like a little spaceship, and it has a prebiotic and a probiotic. The outer capsule is the prebiotic, which is the liquid food for the probiotic. It keeps the probiotic strains alive during transit while it sits in the bottle before you take it, and makes it so the probiotics don't die off in your stomach acid. You don't really want them to die off. You want them to make it into your intestines alive so they can do all the good things deep down where it's needed. Most vitamins and minerals are absorbed in the first 6 inches of the gut below the stomach. So that's where it's most crucial to support proper bacteria growth, This is really interesting. 6 billion CFUs or units might seem low, but that's just honest labeling. That is all your gut needs. And when you are actually going to get what you are actually going to get when you take it. So you are getting exactly what you need inside of those probiotics. And here's how we know. If you go to the grocery store and you see 15 to 50 billion, that's because most other probiotics start dying off as soon as they're packaged. And most of the remainder, when you take it, gets killed off by your stomach acid. So very little of that 15 to 50 billion actually makes it right into your gut. Whereas doTERRA has 6 billion and all of them make it in because of the way that they are packaged and double encapsulated. So this probiotic should be taken with all 3 meals during the last 10 days of the cleanse. Now, Heidi, you've had, you mentioned the other day that you maybe don't need to take all 3, like you've done just one in the morning, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, in the last 10 days, you do want to take all 3, but ongoing after the cleanse, just
Okay.
one or 2 a day is good ongoing. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify with that, and I meant to ask you that the other day when we were talking, and so I'm sorry. So anyway, that is the probiotic. It is awesome. It is going to repair everything inside of your gut and make it completely what it needs to be to move on. So one of the last products, also during the last phase, is the DDR Prime soft gels. Our cells are delicate, and yet they can be resilient when they are properly supported. So we want to make our cells strong, right? We want them to be resilient. And DDR Prime is what will do that for us. Cells need to grow. They need to be protected. They need to replicate. And when the time comes, our cells need to die off. We don't want unrepairable cells to reproduce and create bad coding in our bodies, because this can lead to mutation of cells and disease. When cells are damaged, they can either be repaired or not. And it's the chemical messengers in our body that help create this process. So they're thinking, should we protect this cell and repair it, or should we let it die off? And DDR Prime helps your body know what to do with your cells. Because of this, DDR Prime will make you feel so good that you just might keep taking it after the cleanse. The DDR Prime should be taken morning and evening during the last 10 days of the cleanse. So again, this is part of our repairing. Probiotics going to repair our gut, and the DDR Prime is going to repair our cells and just build them up. When I say repair, I just mean we just cleansed a whole bunch out, and we're just creating a great environment to move forward. And the last thing we're going to talk about, and Heidi touched on this, is our lifelong vitality supplements. These are actually our company's #1 bestseller. They are everything you need to support your body with vitamins, minerals. There's a whole food nutrient in there, and essential oils as well. So here's why you would want to be on the LLV throughout the entire cleanse. Okay, so this is something, again, you would just be taking every day. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but listen to this. How many of you have high-speed phone chargers? Like I do, and I really like it, right? Do you like having a high-speed phone charger? Of course. So this is a high-speed phone charger for your body. If you just think of it like that, it will help you get 100% on a daily basis. It will help you feel 100% on a daily basis faster than anything else will help you feel that good. It is a whole food-based vitamin, mineral, and omega supplement infused with essential oils. It will help close the nutritional gap from eating toddler scraps in Starbucks all day, and it will help you stay on top of your mental and mood game. If you are feeling old and creaky, this will help you feel younger longer. If you seem to catch everything that went around this winter, this will give your immune system an edge up. And if you are overstressed or aren't sleeping well, it will help you relax, stay calm, and carry on. And it's a quick fix because all you have to do is set aside 60 seconds a day to take it. Using LLV gives your body the foundation it needs to fully receive the benefits from the cleanse. So anytime you are using the LLV, your essential oils are going to work better in your body. And the same goes with the supplements of the cleanse and the oils of the cleanse. So we would love to help you get started on the cleanse. If you have questions on how to get products, which we're going to show you how that works in a minute as well, but talk to the person who invited you here tonight, and she will be happy to help you get what you need for the cleanse, help you find it for the best price, and help you take the cleanse correctly. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to be giving you all of the resources that you need to do that as well. So we have actually the Cleanse and Restore Kit. Can you buy all of these products separately? You can. There is one product in that kit that is currently unavailable, and it is the Zendocrine Detox Complex. Now, we cannot buy it individually because it didn't meet doTERRA standards. You know, when our crops aren't as good and weather isn't as permitting for creating the high quality plant that gives us our oils and our products, we don't always have our oils test out the way that they need to test out for us to see them to get on the shelves. And that happened with the Zendocrine Detox Complex. So we have enough right now for the kit, but we don't have enough for individual purchase. So that being said, if you were to purchase the entire Cleanse and Restore Kit, which is everything you need to get started on the cleanse, not only are you going to save $10 off of wholesale, if you were to buy it all individually wholesale, you're saving $10 off of that, but you are getting the Zendocrine Detox Complex in this kit. We recommend adding a second bottle of TerraZyme to the kit, so you end up getting 2 bottles of that, because TerraZyme alone will take you about 18 days through the cleanse, and you're going to need a second bottle so that you can get through the full 30 days. And when you do that, you are going to bump your PV up enough to get a free frankincense. And currently with doTERRA, we still have free frankincense with a 200 PV order until January 15th. So we've got about another week to participate in that promotion. So the Cleanse and Restore Kit plus an extra TerraZyme gets you a free frankincense. And if you order this Cleanse and Restore Kit on your Loyalty Rewards order, again, by the 15th, you're also going to get a free grapefruit, because that is our product of the month for orders over 125 points by the 15th. So 2 free oils with this Cleanse and Restore Kit. It's pretty cool. And like I just mentioned, free with your 200 PV order until the 15th of the month. No matter what you order, it doesn't have to be the Cleanse and Restore kit, but as long as it's 200 points, you will get a free full-size bottle of frankincense. I know many people who get their free frank in December and again in January, and they stock up and they're done for the year for frankincense. It's pretty cool. Again, like I said, with your loyalty rewards order, if you order 125 points of anything at all, by the 15th of the month, you are going to get a free full-sized grapefruit. And the grapefruit is another awesome oil to put in your water and help with weight loss and just feeling really good. It also flushes toxins. It's a great support to what we just talked about. And if you are a little unsure about what the loyalty rewards program is, or if that is something you're even interested in joining, I always like to tell people it's just like Kohl's Cash. The more you buy, the more you get for free. And it's pretty easy. When you order on the loyalty rewards program, and let's pretend you're ordering those 200 points to get the free frank, you're going to get a minimum of $21 back the following month to spend free on whatever you want. And if you've been on the loyalty rewards program for over a year, or depending on how long you've been on it, you're going to get even more back. So you're going to see the person who has been on the program for over 13 months, they're getting 30% back. So now you're looking at $63 back in oil cash points. Your shipping always comes back in points towards free products. So although your shipping isn't free, you're getting free stuff because of your shipping. So that's really cool too. And you are going to get 2 free oils back with your 200 point order. And if you order 125, you are going to get at least 1 oil back, and that will be the grapefruit. So it's just a great program to be on. And then I want to just tell you a little bit about the Empowered Life series. It is a free monthly webinar designed to deliver the very best in essential oil education. Presented by experts, these video classes explain the benefits of essential oils and natural solutions. Each month, they bring you fun tips and teach you how to apply and use doTERRA products. Make sure to join us for the next live webinar. And in the meantime, search the archives on the doTERRA website under our advocates and then our training to find the essential oil topics and uses you'd like to know more about. So these are doTERRA produced webinars created to help you on different topics every single month. We are leaving you this evening with 3 free resources, and we're going to give you the links below. The first one is the lifestyle guide. That is just doTERRA's Live Guide. It's full of information on just how to overhaul your entire lifestyle, from your health to your products to the cleanse is mentioned in there, to your vitamins and your supplements. It's just a great resource for you. The second is the grocery list. It's a 30-day, I'm sorry, I just saw the 30-day. It is a grocery list to help you with the 30-day cleanse, and a lot of whole food suggestions on there. So if you're planning on doing the cleanse and you're like, what should I be eating while I'm on this cleanse? The grocery list is a great place for you to start. And then the third thing, and probably one of the most important things since we really talked about it tonight, is the 30-day cleanse checklist. And on there is a detailed guide on which products you take during which phase and what time in the day to take those supplements. So that is your personal guide for, achieving your best results with the cleanse.
Awesome. I think what we'll do too is I'm going to put everything all in one document, and we'll put part 1, all the resources from part 1 and the replay in that same document, and then part 2, so you have everything all together and you can just click the links and download what you need to download. So it's just super easy. You guys can share that with anybody that you think would benefit from that. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll just open up for question and answer.